another guy that is very famous, who was very phlegmatic. Thomas of Aquinas. Look, Thomas of Aquinas, the most brilliant philosopher and theologian of the Middle Ages, was a magnanimous phlegmatic. He was careful in thoughts and speech, logical, methodical, precise, quiet, even-tempered, simple, dry-witted. You cannot read what he wrote. It's illegible. It's too dry. Too much rationality there. It's science in words. But Thomas overcame the intellectual status quo of his time. In the 13th century, when the general opinion was that Christian faith is independent of reason, Thomas brought back human reason to theology. Aquinas' restoration of human reason is one of the greatest achievements in the history of Christian thought. I mean, all Europe during 400 years was under the influence of Thomas of Aquinas, because Thomas brought back the importance of rational thinking in religion. And Thomas, he broke the status quo of his time intellectually, as no one had did this before. He broke it. He destroyed it. We need reason in faith. We need to come back to the ancient Greeks. We need to study them. We need to understand what's a human virtue, because all those things are rational and they fit God's plan for humanity. This guy was revolutionary. Total revolutionary. It's an intellectual revolution. And Europe today wouldn't be what it is without Thomas of Aquinas, obviously. And probably America also wouldn't be what it is. The impact of philosophy, the development of rational thinking, this came with him. It came with Thomas. It has been Thomas the most influential thinker in the history of Europe. The most influential. And this guy was a phlegmatic. So you see, you have a lot of examples of phlegmatic people that have had a very strong impact on humanity, because they have been magnanimous. So you can be a phlegmatic and magnanimous at the same time. It is possible. You have to work on yourself. So from the point of view of humility, you see the phlegmatic person may have difficulties with self-knowledge because he tends to understate his talents and abilities. So from the point of view of humility, he has a problem in self-knowledge. He understates his own capacities of action. He doesn't know himself well. But from the point of view of service, the phlegmatic has no problem. Phlegmatic people are very good servants. As I told you, they have a feeling of their obligations, of their duties. They are very good servants. And if they are leaders, they are very good servant leaders. It's not difficult for them to serve other people. They are used to it. So you see, we've spoken about the 4 temperaments, and you've seen there have been leaders of humanity in different fields that have had those 4 temperaments, which means that no one is born a leader. Each one of us is born with a specific temperament, and you build leadership through character. If you understand what is the fundamental virtue that is challenging you, and you try to develop it, to multiply it, and then you can overcome your biological weaknesses, and you can become a magnificent person, a magnificent personality, a real leader. This is the goal of our meeting this morning. It is that each one of you understands who he is and what is going to be the challenge for you until the very last minute of your life. Because the weaknesses of your temperament are going to be here until the last minute of your life. You will have to fight. You will have to develop the virtue that is opposite to these weaknesses, to this weakness until the very last moment of your life. Of course, when you develop the virtue, it becomes easier for you to do the good thing, but it's still difficult because your temperament pushes you in another direction. If you're phlegmatic, your temperament pushes you into the status quo. So then you have to build the virtue of magnanimity that will push you in the other direction, the direction of breaking the status quo. But all your life, you will have to fight. You will never stop. If you're a choleric, you will have until the very last moment of your life temptations of hatred, of hate, of passing over the feelings of people. So you will never have to say, now I don't have to fight anymore. Now I don't have to develop the virtue anymore because I have such a big amount of virtue that I don't need this. No, because your biology will still be there. And your first reaction will always be that. These people, they impede me to achieve the goal. Until the very last moment of your life, this will be your first reactions. But your second reaction will be very quick because you have developed the virtue of humility as a choleric. And then very quickly you say, no, stop, Alex. People are more important than things. So pay attention to people and don't pay so much attention to the goal. This is the way it's going to work in your life. It's going to work that way. But the second reaction will come very quickly in the end of your life. At the beginning, it can take minutes or even days to get the right second reaction. In the end of your life, if you've been fighting to develop that virtue of humility, then the second reaction can be half a second. But still, you will have always the first reaction, the biological one. We have two natures, like Aristotle put it, a biological nature and a spiritual nature. So this self-knowledge is very important for you, and it's very important for me. First of all, because it gives you a lot of peace. Self-knowledge gives peace. That's incredible. This peace it gives you. You know you're like that. And you know, it's because God has wanted you to be like that. There is no reason for you to be frightened or to be unhappy because you're a phlegmatic or a melancholic or a choleric or a sanguine. God wants you to be like this. This is the way you have to be. Don't change that. It's like being a man. Stay a man. Don't become a woman. It's a disorder. It's not normal. You have a nature, natura. You were born with something. And it's a gift. Recognize this as a gift and love this gift. But build on that, the beauty of character, and then you will have the freedom. So it gives you peace, and at the same time it shows you the way. It shows you the virtues you have to develop in order to be an effective person and to achieve, first of all, self-realization. And thirdly, it gives you an idea about the others, that people can be very different, and then we better know also the temperaments of the others in order to understand how we can help them. Because if you are here to serve people, you better know their temperaments. You don't serve a choleric like you serve a phlegmatic. You don't. If you want to help people grow, if you want to be a good mentor, a good leader, a good father for those people you serve, you have to know them well. And you have to understand what's biological here and what's spiritual. If not, you cannot serve them well. You can be even a very dangerous person. So you see how many things it gives you. It gives you peace. It gives you a direction for self-realization, for leadership. It gives you a better understanding of the others. So it helps you communicate and it helps you serve the others much better. But remember, the first important point is that it shows you what are your weaknesses. So it shows you what's going to be the virtue you will have to develop absolutely if you want to achieve self-realization and leadership in your life. This is the key point. The key point is not communication. The key point is self-knowledge, self-improvement.